All right, ladies, welcome to this very special masterclass. We're going to have a great 60 minutes or so together. If you want to grab some paper and a pen or type away, we're talking all things lead gen and marketing, talking about how to find and sign your very best clients. We don't have time to waste to talk with the tire kickers and those that don't really value us. So we're going to be talking about marketing in a way that feels good and is effective and is actually quite simple and ties into our innate God-given abilities. Now, it's interesting. These are some of the industries that, my clients are in, and these are the bulk of the industries that signed up. Between LinkedIn and other places that I have, we had nearly, I think it was 180 ladies that signed up. And you know how it is. A lot of times they want to do it on the replay, and that's fine. I understand. But isn't this amazing? There is a vast array of industries that are being serviced at this high level. And we're talking about not business startups. We're talking about those that are the threshold of 6 figures and multi-6 figures, looking to have big impact and big revenue. And not only that, ladies, but also nice profits. Okay, I was talking to a woman just earlier this week. She's revenues were around 300,000 and she was barely clearing 50,000. I don't want that for you. There's a better way. Okay, so starting off, as I often do, with questions. Okay, we're talking about marketing, AKA lead gen. And so when you think about marketing your business, how do you feel? Maybe even pop it into the chat. I can't see it right now, but I promise I'll go back. You see, you may, as I did years ago, discount the importance of feelings. But you see, your feelings, your real, genuine feelings are going to drive your actions. And those actions are going to end up in the results that you make. Okay, so how you feel matters. And by the way, your feelings come from your thoughts, and your thoughts come from your belief system. Now, let's set the pace here so we know whether you should be in the room. I do everything grounded on the foundation of the Lord Jesus Christ. So we're talking about sophisticated business strategy, unapologetically founded on faith. So that's our belief system. So from that belief system, we have certain thoughts, and those thoughts lead to feelings and so on. So how do you feel about this concept of marketing your business? So which side are you on here? And I want you to be honest. I'm not going to call anybody out, but there's the left side, which is negative. Oh, marketing's hard. It's time consuming. It's confusing. It's overwhelming. Right? Or you're on the right side. It's easy. I like it. It's fun and it's efficient. And by the way, I'm good at it. So which side are you on? And I want you to hear me on this. You may not know this, but you get to decide. My clients, I work with them to get control of their thoughts. Right? Hold every thought captive as unto Christ. We want to make this big business, this sophisticated, run simply, fun business that allows us to reclaim time while still making nice money. We've got to decide how we're going to think. Okay. So next question in this lovely theme of marketing. What is your number one go-to lead gen strategy? I'd love you to pop it in. And because I'm sharing my screen, I can't come at you, but I'm going to be looking at the end. Okay. I want to know, what is your go-to lead gen strategy? And I don't want to give you any examples because it's funny. Sometimes when I ask that, the answers that I get, they can be quite varied. Sometimes they're not even marketing strategies per se. Again, no guilt, no shame. I want to know what you think your go-to strategy is. And then how many hours a week do you spend? Now, this is kind of a trick question because it begs the question of, well, what is a lead gen activity, right? So here's a bunch of things, and you tell me if these are lead gen activities. Posting on social, sending an email, making a phone call, texting, sending a postcard, an in-person visit, inviting to a conference or other event, going live on social, hosting a podcast, leading a conversation on Clubhouse. I mean, I could go on and on and on. These could all be lead gen activities. Okay. So have you ever done that time audit and figured out, wow, I'm spending 20 hours a week or 30 hours a week or 5 hours a week? Okay. And by the way, do you have a cohesive marketing plan that is strategic, that's well documented and well thought out? And if you do, are you following it? Okay, that's when you do that, that's when this becomes fun and highly more effective. Okay. During this next hour, I'm going to show you a strategic approach to marketing that aligns and feels good. It aligns with you, your brand, and your ideal clients. I want to briefly introduce you to my client, Lori. She was a real estate broker. And when we started working together, she really wanted to quit. It was kind of out of desperation that we started working together. She was just above $100,000, working really hard. And together, I mean, her big aha was brand you. Like, I don't want you comparing yourself to somebody else. You're amazing. Like, she didn't even realize how amazing she was, right? Like, she is perfectly imperfect. And that was more than enough. So you can see her results here. And her annual revenues continue to grow and grow with every passing year. Meet Jackie. She's a serial entrepreneur, mom to 2 adorable little kids, former corporate superstar. She had so much responsibility in her mid-20s. And in just 6 months, she built not 1, not 2, but 3 brands: consulting, a skincare product line, and real estate investing. She wanted to surpass her corporate salary, and she did exactly that. Now, listen, you're going to want to stay to the end. This is not your typical masterclass. As I said, make sure you turn off all your beeps and bops and notifications. You want to take notes on this, because if you do, if you pay attention, I know you're going to experience a breakthrough. Okay. And at the last page, I'm going to give you a link to my ultimate scaling guide, which is really a 20-page workbook where I share with you 4 proven strategies for exponential growth that I've used, that my clients use, okay, to scale their business in a way that is really quite simple. Okay. And also at the end, I'm going to be inviting you to take the next step with a scaling strategy session with me, if you would like. We're going to be covering specifically the number 1 lie you've been told when it comes to marketing that's effective, the 3 things you have to focus on to find the right clients. And if you skip any one of these, you're going to be struggling or spinning your wheels. We're going to talk about how to market your business using your innate abilities as a woman, God-given abilities. They're highly effective in this way of marketing, and also introduce you to my proprietary joyful scaling method to take your business to that next level with simplicity. Okay, sorry about that. Don't you just love when that happens? Let me stop the share. Let me figure this out. Okay. Oops, wrong one. We're not at the right place. All right, ladies, hang tight. I wish there was a way. If there is a way, if somebody would like to show me the way of turning off those notifications. Okay, got to find the right thing because I'm in a different place. Hang tight. Thank you for your grace and understanding. Okay, got to find the right place here. We're getting there. Okay. All right, coming back to you. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, thank you for that. All right, I'm going to move you ladies down here so that I can go in presentation mode. Hope it keeps me at the right page here. Okay, good. All right, so next, who am I? I am Judy Weber. I am the women's business strategist and scaling expert, and I'm known for showing awesome ladies like yourself, female founders and small business owners, how to build a sophisticated business. That is a business that doesn't run you. It's a business you run, and how to leverage your expertise to attract high-paying clients and accelerate your revenue without ever having to compromise what you really believe in, your faith or your values. This is a little bit of who I am. I'm an award-winning business coach, a trial attorney since 1995. I've been in-house. I've been in the C-suite. I've been an entrepreneur since 2003. I've been published in major publications. All the rest. Look, this isn't about me. This is about you. But I did want you to see this slide, because if I were sitting in your shoes, I'd be like, okay, who is this person and why should I trust anything she says? I've been where you are, and I'd love to help you to get where I am. Okay. So here's the big question everybody asks. How come some ladies struggle to hit 6 figures and others make 6 figures a month and more? You've been sold on a couple of lies. Okay. The idea that you have to work hard and long, that's the hustle and grind mentality. I used to buy into that in the early days, not anymore. You've been sold on this idea of having to do all the things when it comes to marketing your business and really elevating tech. wanting to please algorithms, a computer, versus really looking at personal human to human connection. And when we look at all this stuff we've been sold on, we realize it's not getting us the results we want. So my success formula is really quite simple. I help my clients go from struggling or stuck at a plateau to monetizing their genius and up-leveling their business so that it's impactful, highly profitable, and really fun to run, and allows you to reclaim your time, and all to the glory of God. And these strategies are tested and they work across a bunch of industries. Now let's start here. 10% of women are going to make six figures, according to the latest statistics. And according to Forbes, only 2% will achieve seven figures. And the latest stats actually show less than 2%. And my mission in doing what I'm doing in working with women is to change that. I want that number to be much, much higher. So here's my success formula. You've got to first believe that it's possible, right? Okay, and I want you to think back when you were a little girl, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. Remember when we had those big dreams? And maybe they weren't what we're doing right now. Maybe when we were 3 or 4 or 5, we didn't think we were going to be an entrepreneur, because who would ever know really what that is unless your parent was one. But we have these big dreams when we're young and don't experience the things that you do as you get older, like the trauma and the hurt and the whatever, right? But it's that belief in what you've dreamed to be in business. Why are you here? You want to serve? You want to, get paid for your expertise. So if you don't believe that you can hit whatever that goal is for you in 2022, and I hope you've set that, if you don't believe it's really possible, it's going to be hard to get there. So first you got to believe, and then take a strategic action, a strategic perspective on what you're doing, and then carry it out. And that's how you're going to get the results. So when you simplify it, it's a strategic action plan that is faithfully and consistently executed. So before we jump into the substance, let's go to God in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you. We thank you, God, that even though those phone calls will pop in and try to interrupt, the enemy will try to come against what is going on here in this hour, because this is all for you. So Lord, I just pray that you will keep those distractions out, keep those, fiery darts away, so that we can get some good work done, Lord. We're here in business to serve you and to serve others, Lord. Help us to be able to know how to best do that. And may you take over. I'm your vessel, Lord, in this time. Thank you, God. We thank you in advance. We love you and we trust you. And it's in the mighty name of Jesus that we pray. Amen. Okay, so 3 parts. Part 1, what's the best way to market my business? In other words, generate quality leads. And you see that I bolded that, okay? Who are the quality leads? Those I really want to work with. Those who really need my services, value me and my expertise, and they're respectful of me and the boundaries that I set. They're great to work with. They're those that you're like, look forward to. You don't need more leads. You need more of the right leads. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to find them and how to do so efficiently in the way of dollars and time, and effectively, right? The best clients who are ready to buy. And this may sound simplistic, but everything I'm pointing to is about connection. Okay. Business is about relationships. And when I was talking about innate abilities, God gave women this ability to be naturally relational, right? We're empathetic. We truly care about people. We serve people. We're authentic, right? We love to share stories. We love to share our hearts, right? And it's this innate ability and skill that we really need to use and leverage. Okay. Now, with that is the goal. We're connecting. No matter what we're doing in marketing, we're connecting. I want to point out right up front the number one lie about effective marketing today. It's that the old-fashioned tactics, the relational human-to-human connection, they don't work. That's what they're telling us, right? The gurus tell us, be everywhere, all the social channels. Don't miss one. Do everything. Post, go live, comment, DM. Oh, and by the way, make sure you're on YouTube and you're on podcasts and the list goes on and on and on. They want you to focus on the online space, digital marketing, and they want you to study not just kind of sort of know about, but study the algorithms. You got to please that artificial intelligence. It's all about the tech, they're telling us. Now, listen, I am not telling you don't use tech, but there's a place for it. Okay. Tech is not marketing. In and of itself, it is not marketing. It's a tool. So we have to incorporate the tech strategically in our marketing. Okay. Because marketing is and always will be about people. So we've got to prioritize people over the tech, and really prioritize people over anything and everything. Okay. People buy from people, and specifically people that they trust. And now more than ever, we're coming out, almost the end of 2021, which is crazy to think about. And now more than ever, with the pandemic kind of sort of behind us, people crave these things on the screen. They crave connection and authenticity. We want realness, right? And we want sincerity. Does this person sincerely care about me? And we want to be seen and heard as an individual. And we want to be truly cared for. Am I right about that? Do we really want another Zoom meeting? I mean, this is great that we're together. This is kind of an intimate thing. This is why I didn't want to go on social. I wanted to have this a closed space. But is this what we want when we are coming with a client? Like, does the client really want this, or do they want you and them, like an individual conversation, right? And that's why my invitation at the end is a one-on-one. Okay. So this is what the gurus are really pushing. Oh, look at all these different types of funnels. You can make yourself batty, and the newsletters and the publications and the email marketing, the social, all that. And I'm not saying don't do this, but again, be strategic about it, because the human to human connection has to be a part of that client journey, and a prioritized part of it. And when we're talking about a client journey, we're talking about that client experience that starts from the first hello to the end of forever. Okay, so there's 3 things. And these 3 things, if you focus on these, you're going to find the right clients. Trust me. And even though what I'm telling you may seem simplistic and or something you run from, Judy, don't make me think. I don't want to think, Judy. And you have all these different thoughts around what I'm about to tell you. I invite you to try a new way, because this works. Okay. So these 3 things are foundational elements to marketing, period, because each of these form marketing so that what you're doing, all of your efforts of you and your team, are going to be highly effective when these foundational elements are in place. Okay. Here's the first. What's your ideal client? I can almost hear some of you thinking, I could work with anyone. That's not the question. Who do you want to work with? Who's your ideal client? And have you ever really put pen to paper and thought about it? Okay. Those you really want to work with. Remember when I talked about your very best clients earlier, those that love you and respect you and all that good stuff? Okay. That's who I want you to think about. But I want you to do this from a place of not worrying about or being fearful about missing out. Oh, well, if I identify a particular segment of the market, then I can't serve these other people outside of that. You're wrong about that. Okay. When you niche down, when you decide, and it's a powerful decision of a CEO, right? When you decide who that segment of the market is that you want to serve, then you speak their language because you know them so well. And so there may be others outside of that specific segment of the market who looks at you and is also not quite maybe in that segment, but they wish they were. And so they're going to follow you, and they're going to work toward being able to work with you possibly, or they might just reach out anyway. Hey, I know you really work with women, but I'd love to work with you, All right. So you decide to be choosy. It starts with a decision. And then you have to define the characteristics of your best clients. Look, you ladies are here because you're not newbies. So you've been doing this for a while. Have you ever thought about identify your top 5 favorite clients and just write or type everything about them? And then you will see patterns. Ooh, they tend to be in this age range. They tend to be maybe in this occupation, or they live in this certain area, whatever those characteristics are that apply to you, right? Every business is different. But once you go to that exercise and you devote time to thinking and figuring out, what does my ideal client look like? What are they all about? You got to know them, because then you'll speak their language. Then you'll know what I'm talking about, that this is pivotal. And it is. I mean, I can't even overemphasize this. The ideal client informs so much about what you say and where you show up and how you show up. If my ideal client wasn't you powerhouse ladies and I was looking for newbies, maybe I wouldn't wear a suit when I come before you. Maybe I would be wearing, sweatpants and I don't know, a t-shirt or something, right? So like, this ideal client is so important. It informs everything about your marketing. So you've got to know them. Not the least of which is, as it relates to, you and what you do, what is their big problem? So that hey, this is what I'm going after. This is my segment of the market's biggest problem, and I'm going to make darn sure that I solve it. And so in my marketing and my messaging, I'm going to talk about that problem. I'm going to make sure I tell them about the solution to the problem, so that they know that I know what I'm talking about. And by the way, when I talk about knowing your ideal client so well, it is not just as it relates to what you do. I want to know what keeps my clients up at night outside of the business. What are your dreams outside of the business, right? I'm a business coach. I'm a women's strategist. I need to know that about you. What podcast do you listen to? Who are you following? Lots of questions. I need to know that in order to serve you like nobody else does, like nobody else is. Okay. So the second part is clarity around your brand. What does that mean? What is my brand, Judy? You might be saying, what is a brand? Well, I don't want you to get crazy about brand, because here's what brand is not. Branding is not your website. It is not your logo. It is not your colors or, your fonts. That may be a part of it, but I'm talking about your brand, meaning when they hear your name or your company name, what do they think? What do they feel? That is a powerfully effective brand. I was watching a video from Steve Jobs as I was preparing this. And, he was talking about when he came back to Apple, and he's talking about his new campaign about Think Different. We're not going to talk about the benefits and features of the Macs. We're going to talk about the people who use Macs, right? And we're going to help them. We know that they are the different thinkers. And so we're going to create things that they like to use, because it's going to be streamlined and simple. And in their advertising, they talk about people who think different through the ages. I mean, this is your brand. And just the thought of that, you might say, oh my goodness, you're going to make me think about this. That's like overwhelming. No, it's not. It doesn't have to be. Decide that it's not. And here's some things to think about. And I like that some of you smiled on that. Thanks, Danielle. What do you stand for? What is your mission? What are your core values? Why do you do what you do? People are curious. They want to know, because they want to rally behind it. If you love the Lord Jesus Christ, you're going to love hearing from me as I talk about business and train you in business. Jesus is the Lord of my life. He's the Lord of my business. He is really my CEO. I take direction from him. And so if you love him like I do, you're going to be like, whew, there's not many of you out here like this. But if you don't know him, we're not going to align, and that's okay. But you have to be bold and decide, what do you stand for? What are you all about? And your ideal clients are going to love it. And how are you different? AKA better. My experience, 30 years in the real world, the corporate world, the lawyer world, the male dominated world, in business, all around. Some people call themselves coaches and they're 22 and they might have a degree. God bless them. But you're going to get a whole different experience working with me. So this is what I'm giving you examples so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Your experiences, life and education and work experience all comes to bear on how you do what you do. I need you to think about that. And now we women are so self-deprecating. Oh, that was no big deal. Oh, is that important? Oh, look, you need to ask 5 people around you and say, when you think about me, what stands out? You might be surprised. Ask them, what do you think about me? How do you think about me? What stands out about me? It's a great exercise. I encourage you to do that. And then as a part of getting clarity around your brand, identify industry myths that you say no way to. Okay. Like kind of what I'm talking about here. Marketing, digital marketing, you have to be social is not the end. It is a means to an end, and we're going to use it strategically. Okay. So the other coaches could talk all about funnels and here's where focus on what we're going to be doing. And no, that's not for me. So I'm going to call them out on that. Think about your industry, the way business is normally done, the way your competitors are talking about your industry. Where do you say, no way? Get that as a part of your brand messaging. And then look at your competitors. Identify the gaps in what they're doing. Judy, I may not know. Well, maybe you could shop them. Maybe, I don't know, check them out, see what they're doing. But in general, when you are a consumer within what you do, and you work with enough clients and you hear from them, oh my goodness, I did this, but it didn't work. And here's why. I hope you're asking those questions, right? You identify the gaps and you say, great, I'm going to fill that gap. And, in that way, when you tie all of this up, we're talking about being unapologetic about curating a standout brand, because that's what we want to do, right? Okay. Third thing, we're connecting with people, which I said in the beginning, right? But you can't connect with people till you know who in the heck you're connecting, what they're all about, and know what you're all about so that it can really make sense, right? Because like I say, where is your ideal client? Where do they show up? Well, when you know them really well, you know where to show up, you know how to show up, and you know how often. Like maybe there are some target audiences out there of yours that don't want to be bombarded every week. Maybe they just want to hear from you every month, or maybe others want to hear from you every day, right? It's going to depend on the industry and so many other things. Okay. But the only possible way you're going to know your people is to know your people, right? And do the work. So there's lots of different ways to connect, and a lot of these are in person, locally. So if your business is digital and worldwide, then maybe it's going to look different for you. But there's still that one-to-one human connection at some point, whether it's over the phone, whether it's a personalized email or text or a voice note. I love voice notes, right? Because the idea is to really take the online offline. Okay. All right. What's the goal of marketing overall? It is to be known, to be sought out, to be in demand. Okay. We don't want to be like everybody else. We don't want to be the chaser in the business. We want to be chased. Okay. So without a focus on those 3 elements that I just went through, you're going to spend way more money than you need to. Way more money. You're going to hire expensive contractors to create funnels and do Facebook ads. But if you don't have your target clearly identified, if you don't have your messaging down, Facebook ads aren't going to fix the problem. They're just going to exacerbate the problem, right? So you can't throw money at a problem. Okay, one moment. I just need to take a quick drink here. Without a focus on those 3 foundational elements that I talked about, you're also going to waste time, because without focus, knowing exactly who you're talking to and getting the messaging down, you're going to feel compelled to be everywhere and do all the things because you don't want to miss anybody. Fear of missing out. I don't want that for you. And I also don't want you to miss out on opportunities, right? Potential clients are not going to find you if your messaging is generic, if you're talking to everybody. You're just going to get lost in the sea of sameness. Oh, okay. Another business coach. Oh, same lingo, blah, blah, blah. I work with a lot of realtors, and sometimes, I that's one of the first things I say to them. Why you instead of the 1,000 others within the 3-block radius? Sometimes they look at me like, I don't know. Well, you better know. Let's start there, right? We can't blend in, ladies. When you don't have these three elements dialed in, you will be the one chasing. And I don't want that for you. We're going to do business better, create a strategic, people-focused marketing plan so that you can be known as that standout leader, that thought leader, right? The expert, so that you could be in demand. So with that, do you feel inspired? Can you confidently map out your people-focused marketing strategy as you sit here? Are you starting to get the wheels, right? Okay, so very, very quickly, I just, again, wanted to go a little bit deeper. This is me when I'm like 3. I just want you to understand kind of who I am. And right now I'm suffering from, it just came on my reflux. So, okay, so I'm a small town girl. I'm a twin. I have a twin sister. I'm one of 6 from very humble means. Dad was a factory worker. Mom stayed home. I always had big dreams though. 2 things I wanted to be since this age, teacher or a lawyer. But I didn't think people like me could be a lawyer. I'm poor folk. We don't know anybody. We had no money. You know, I was the first one to go to college. I wanted to pursue law school, but I really didn't think it was possible. But in the 5 years between graduating college and law school, I was in sales, selling dictation equipment, which put me in front of lawyers. So after talking with them a lot, I decided, well, if they could do it, I could do it. So I did. Went to Villanova, graduated in the top 10, got on law review, got this great job. Lots of things happened. You know, quit the practice of law because I had 3 boys that I wanted to raise. I didn't want somebody else to raise them. Got bored. You know, I'm wired to do lots of things. So I started my first business when my kids were 2, 4, and almost 7. And it was so much fun. I had more business than I knew what to do with within a month or so. So that was its own great problem, right? Fast forward many, many years, at about 2010, I was getting divorced. So I re-entered the practice of law while I was doing real estate part-time. Then fast forward a few more years and I got the opportunity to go in-house, which is amazing, a multi-million-dollar international company. I was in that C-suite. I got to sit around the board table, mostly men, as general counsel and the director of HR. It was a really amazing experience. Very hard, but it was great because of the experience being in a male-dominated, tough venue of as a trial lawyer in Philadelphia. I learned how to kind of speak up when I needed to, right? In 2017, I launched a business coaching for women business with my twin sister. It didn't work out. Eventually, now I'm doing what I'm doing now. But in a year's time, in that first year of business, I had a $40,000 follower or 40,000 follower base in a short 12 months. I was ranked among the top 100 people in real estate by my peers. And it was just an amazing first year in business as a business coach. And last year I was named a newsmaker by RIS Media. So, you know, here's some other things. I've been on TV. I've been in a bunch of publications. My podcast, thankfully, thank you, Lord, is top ranked globally. But I experienced tough times along the way. But all the way, I pursued the impossible with Christ. Okay, how did I do it? Pursue the impossible. Jesus said, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. And there is my formula for success. Again, faith. It begins with faith. Strategy and action is going to get you results. Okay, so now we're going to talk about people-focused marketing. So it's just this one slide that I'm going to focus on for a few minutes. Okay, and so there's 3 types of people that we're going to be talking about and focusing on as we put our cohesive, comprehensive marketing plan together. Okay, we're going to be talking about prospective clients, the pre-client. Then we're going to be talking about the client and the post-client experience, and then collaborative opportunities. But do you see, you know, it all begins with the brand. You know, who you are, what's your expertise? What do you specialize in? I always love to think about this in the way of a doctor frame. When I'm talking about you and what your expertise is. Think about the GP, your family doctor. She makes a good living, but when they specialize, if she were to specialize in radiology or cardiology or something, they make more money. And then if they specialize in like surgery, neurosurgery being like the highest, paying, right? So there's the generalist making this kind of dollars. And then when you become a specialist, you make more money, you become more sought after, you're a premium brand. That's what I want for you. That's what I do with my clients, right? So it's all about your expertise, right? What do you stand for? Who do you serve? All of that good stuff, right? And then we go over to the pre-client. Okay. What do we want our segments of our target audience to feel and think when they see us show up? Whether we're on a stage live, whether we're here virtually, whether we're on social, whether they go on the website. It's about the experience. It's about a look and feel. I was working with a client yesterday, and then I sent her a video talking about some of her competitors' websites, because I wanted her to get the concept of the brand and the feeling of it. This one feels really stodgy. This one feels really modern. This one feels really, right? I mean, I want you to be honest and assess what your brand looks like out there. And as hard as it could be, I want you to imagine someone that doesn't know you, when they find you, when they hear you, when they look at what you're saying, whether it's in print or audio or video, whatever it is, like, is it hitting them in the right way? Are you positioning yourself as the authority? Are the words you use resonating with the people that you want it to resonate with? And in this way too, when I'm talking about funnels, absolutely, funnels are a part of business. This is the world. This is my target audience. And then I want to get as many of the right people in my target audience in my funnel. I want to bring them into my world. So how do I do that? By what I say, how I show up, right? All these things we've just been talking about, so that then I have a customer journey and I bring them into my funnel until they become a client. But it doesn't end. This is where so many drop the ball. We're so concerned about bringing in new clients. We have to be concerned about wowing our clients so that we can't stop. I don't want to say marketing to them, but we can't stop over serving them just because they become a client. In fact, that's when it begins, right? So we have to create an amazing client experience where they're just like, wow, oh my goodness, she really cares about me because she's doing this. Or, oh, wow, I've never been in something that had, is all about this. And wow, what a great time that bringing all these great people together, whatever it looks like for you. But you need to create an experience, and you can't do that by willy-nilly. It's got to be strategic, intentional thinking, high-level thinking. Because when they are that client, we want to give them that creme de la creme experience, right? And we want to make darn sure that the big urgent problem they have is solved by your program, right? Or by your services, whatever that looks like. You've got to know what the big promise is from what you're delivering, and then you got to make sure you deliver it and over deliver it. Okay, so that they're just raving fans. Oh my goodness, you've got to meet with Judy or Danielle or Katie or whoever, right? And then it doesn't end there either, because once we wow them and we give them the result they wanted and more, and they give us these wonderful testimonials, then the post-client time comes in. What am I going to do there? How many touches am I going to give? When am I going to give them? What kind of touches? And by the way, when their time with us expires in whatever it is they bought into, is there an opportunity to further serve them and upsell them and cross-sell them? Referral program, maybe something like that. Okay, so that's the whole prospective client thing. And then there's this other group of people, potential collaborative partners and perhaps affiliates. And so who would we want to collab with? We've got to be intentional and decide. I mean, a great place to start would be those that serve our same ideal client, our same target audience, right? But it could be so much more than that. And so I have networking at the bottom in the way of the collab, because we need to think about where do we show up to best find those ideal as well. Okay, so are you excited with that? When you look at this, are you excited to say, I can do this? I can definitely figure out by my past experience and by talking to my clients and others in my target audience, I can figure out how to curate this people-focused marketing strategy that's going to give me the very best quality leads that are as excited to work with me as I am with them. Okay, that was part 2. Part 3, I want to introduce you to my proprietary method, my joyful scaling method for exponential revenue growth and greater profit. Okay, I don't really, me personally, I don't care if my revenue is $1 million. If all I'm bringing home is 200, I'm working too hard. So it's about revenue growth, greater profit, and more time freedom. Okay, we do that with strategy, systems, and simplicity. Again, at the bottom, you see my success formula. Ladies, the keys to a 7-figure business, it's not more, it's less. Less complex, less stress, less hustle. Okay, so let's dive in. Scaling method. We're going to take basically this beautiful foundation that you've built and we're going to up level it so we can produce 6-figure leaps in revenue. And where that may sound crazy to you right now. Good, let's go to crazy. I want to normalize the impossible. Okay, that's, and because when we do that, that is when more women are going to get to 7 figures and beyond. Okay, so this first pillar is the jumpstart. We're going to jumpstart your business. And this step is all about imparting fresh, targeted strategy, right? And how do we do that? Well, it's a bit counterintuitive because we got to slow down so we can do this think work that I've been talking about. And it's 2 primary strategies, right? It's marketing and it is sales. Marketing we just talked about, and unfortunately we don't have time for the sales piece of it, but the jumpstart, we're going to get our strategies set. And then the second pillar is optimize, right? And here we focus on 3 areas. We're going to get the right team members in place. Okay, we're going to get that org chart set for now and the next 5 years. Okay, and we're going to create workflows and processes and KPIs. And if all of that sounds scary to you, just understand we take it one step at a time. Judy's all about the simple. I'm right there with you. No worries. Okay, and then automation. I'm sure you have some aspect of automation in your business. I want to look at it. I want to make sure that you are utilizing all of the capabilities and features in what you already have, and maybe see if there's something else that we could add. Okay. Then the third step is yield. Okay. And here I'm talking about your results. We're going to take a 30,000 foot view of your business. What is it yielding in the way of numbers, in the way of clients and cash flow and revenue, profit and loss, all of that. Okay. As well as, like I say, the client results, the repeat, the referrals, that kind of thing. Okay. Question. Did you know that 72% of women business owners don't know their numbers? Amazing, isn't it? Hope that's not you. Accountants and bookkeepers are great, but they tend to be defensive, not offensive. Okay, they don't think strategically of growth. It's more like, you know what I mean? And there are exceptions, but you need a strategist that's going to tell you and help you figure out how to acquire new clients for less, how to upsell and keep a client for life, and how to lower your expenses so you're able to get more money in your pocket at the end of the day. Okay. So, about simplicity and focus. I don't know what you spin in your wheels. Do you know that you could have a 7-figure business and work like 30 hours a week? It's possible. How many hours a week are you working right now? When you approach and use these, the joyful scaling method, you're going to generate excitement, genuine excitement and demand for your services. You're going to get better clients who seek you out. It's higher level work, more profit, more time freedom. Who wouldn't want that, right? Okay, so my client, Megan, she's awesome. She's got 3 boys as well. And she was really passionate about sharing her parenting expertise. So together we refined that brand within a few short months. I mean, everybody was blown away at the coveted media spots. I'm talking about publications, podcasts, even on television, just incredible. And then Heidi, she's a nonprofit expert. She had spent about 18 years in the nonprofit space before she launched her consulting business. We worked together for 5 days. I kid you not. And we really, she has so much going for her. It was her mindset. And so when we refined that and got her thinking right and took her offer and packaged it in a way that really, she's such high value. Now we priced it and packaged it as such. She signed her first high paying client in 5 days. And she's just like, wow, that was so much easier than I ever did, was able to ever experience before working with you. And that's just has continued to grow. It's just crazy good. Okay. So are you excited at all the possibilities for your business? I don't know what's going on here with my computer. It's not working. Enemy, get behind me. So how many of you would love to simplify your business while making more meaningful impact, generating higher profit and reclaiming your time? I'm accepting applications for the Joyful Scaling Mastermind. I have 2 spots left. But ladies, this is the ultimate mastermind experience for faith-fueled, not just faith-based, but we're faith-fueled female founders and CEOs. Okay, so if this is for you, if you're ready to up level and fully step into your CEO role and stop being a glorified hardworking employee for yourself, right? If you're looking to fully live out your faith and you want to put God above all and trust in him. Okay. If you're committed to going all in on your business and you're willing to stretch yourself, because look, you know what, I'll be honest with you. I am not the CEO, 6 months ago that I am today. And today I'm not the CEO that I'm going to be in 6 months. We are constantly growing if you're doing this right. Right. And because we're stretching ourselves, we've got to stretch. We've got to teach our mind to think the right way. We've got to go to God more. We've got to be more strategic, more focused. Okay. Now, if you're excited to learn how to think and strategize like that Inc. 500 CEO, if you want to leverage your time by getting those systems in place and those processes and automation and actually build a dream team, I know from talking to ladies that some of you are scared of making hires, and it shouldn't be scary. It doesn't have to be. And if you believe that I have the experience and the dedication to support you and guide you with excellence as you pursue your impossible. Okay, so here's what's inside. Okay, so first of all, this is a culmination of all the best of the best masterminds and things I've ever done. Okay, but it's even better than that. Okay, I pulled the best of the best. Okay, this is not a course. It's not a program. It is not group coaching. This is high level business training combined with weekly access to me and my brain. Okay, it's the best thing I could kind of sort of say is it's one-on-one mentoring, consulting, and coaching delivered in an intimate group setting. Okay, there's so much that I want to tell you about, but I do want to say that I do the weekly trainings. I bring in master trainings by other industry experts, in particular copywriting. Messaging is so important, ladies. The words we use, it can either fall flat or it can compel someone to action. So that's one example of the industry experts that I firmly believe we need to have direct access to. But the big highlight for our year together of masterminding and mentorship is 2 live events. One coming up in the spring. This is, you're going to be coming to Charleston for many days, and we're going to roll up our sleeves and get good work done. Okay. Then the other one, the fun trip, the kind of, pampering trip happens in the fall, where we go to my favorite place on earth, Rosemary Beach, Florida, and we get pampered. And I bring in photographer and hair and makeup, and we get some great photos, marketing assets for you to take along. It's just an amazing culmination of everything you need to go from a 6 or multi-6-figure business owner to that 7-figure CEO and thought leader. Okay, and there's the URL bit.ly/joyful scaling consult takes you to that scaling strategy session where we're going to talk. This is 100% free, no obligation, but this is the starting point. Because ladies, there's never been a better time to jump in to this mastermind because we're in the founders round. We begin the 2nd week of January, and I've capped this at 10 ladies. And if I don't get to 10, I am so overjoyed with the ladies inside, and I've turned many away. I am selective. Not everybody gets in, but this is the best time as far as the investment. There will never be any more access to me than this time. And there's some awesome bonuses. Okay. And my client, Lori, I mentioned her earlier, working with Judy literally changed my life. I'm a different person. Fontanise, 6x my business. Jackie, Judy's got the know-how and resources to make my vision a reality. And she personally invests in her client's success. And Catherine copied that. All right. So the first step to learn more about working together inside this beautiful container of a mastermind is to apply for a scaling strategy call. And as I said, we don't accept everybody because my goal is to create incredible case studies with each and every one of the women that I'm blessed to work with. So bit.ly/joyful scaling consult. I do want to say this. Next Thursday, I'm going to be going on a plane to Pennsylvania, where I'm from, meeting my boys. My husband and I are flying out, and I'm not coming back until the new year. So if you have a problem finding a good time in my calendar, because between now and Thursday is kind of tight, please reach out to me at Judy Weber Co. DM me, whatever social platform you like, okay? And we'll make it happen. Okay, because there are other slots that I could kind of move things around. But I just wanted to throw that out there. I want to chat with you. If you're serious about your business, if you want to do things more simply, more strategically, in a way that really feels good and is in aligned with putting the Lord God first, I really want to chat with you. I also want you to grab my ultimate scaling guide. If you haven't yet, just go to judyweber.co. That is a new website. It is not fully functional, but that sure is. Okay. Right on the top, you'll see that you can, pop in your email and we will send that directly out to you. The ultimate scaling guide, judyweber.co. All right. Snap a picture of this, ladies, because I want to come out of the share and I want to answer your questions and maybe do some hot seat coaching. All right. So let me come to you and let me see. I'm going to come into the chat, start at the top. In case you're wondering why a man is on here, it's Shemai. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, we don't. You know what? I'm going to take a quick, ladies, can you do me a big favor? I love seeing all of you. Would you mind showing me your lovely faces if you can? And I'd love to get a picture. And this is so funny. I'm 56. I usually don't think about this. We didn't have these when I was in college, but now I thought of it. So can we just say hello and see all your pretty, pretty faces? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Oh, I see so many sweet clients. I love you all so much. Okay, so let me go back to the chat. Okay, yes, no man. Thank you for that. Frustrated. Okay, so frustrated with your marketing, I'm thinking, and lost. Okay, I would love to just lay there for a minute. What time is it? Probably way beyond where we should be. Okay, good. We're fine. I'm happy to talk about that. Did your mind change? Anybody that said they're frustrated or lost? Did your thoughts about marketing, your perception and approach to marketing change given our conversation today? Feel free to unmute yourself. Because I'm not going down the chat. Boy, this is horrible. I really have this really bad reflex that I never have, but I have it right now. Okay. Nobody wants to unmute? Okay, I'm a digital marketer and own my. Who is that?
I will mute.
Hi.
Angela.
Hi, Angela.
Hi.
Did you have something to say about marketing or something your perception changed? I'm sorry, there was some sort of interruption in the line.
The perception change. I always think that I got to get the tech, the funnels, and that ready, and then go. And then when you have that, it's not just.
Oh no.
And to be clarity your brand and to be more free client, it helps me to think more and have faith in the Lord when you're talking about faith, because sometimes I'm just thinking more the strategies and how to be done and being perfect before I launch anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let me say this, you know what, if you want to have a successful business, you know what's more important than anything right now? It's not getting the website done. It's not getting your funnels done. Okay. If you want to get more money in your pocket by the end of the year, pick up the phone, Send a voice note, talk to people, invite someone to a conversation. Or if you have a local business, get out there talking to people. There's no better way to really have a bolster in your business, guaranteed. Okay. Now, Stuart May, is that who we said is really a woman? She says, I was overwhelmed. And so many of you said you were on the left side. Okay. I want to know, did anybody move to the right side, or is anybody a little bit more optimistic besides Angela? I hope so. Right. Okay. Annette says, I have a comprehensive strategy with email lists, social media, organic content. That is awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. Congratulations. Okay. Does anybody have, and I'm reading through all this stuff. This is so good, but does anybody have, and Danielle, thank you. I know I can't wait. This is going to be, the mastermind is going to be freaking amazing. Okay. The link isn't working. What link was that? bit.ly joyful scaling consult is not working. Why is it not working? If it's not working, please, would you pop your email in the chat and I will send you the correct link. It was working yesterday, so my apologies. I have no idea why that wouldn't be. And judyweber.co. I mean, you might have to put HTTPS in front of it or something. Oh, good. Okay. So Stuart May, I know that's not your name because you're not a man. Okay. She says, I definitely changed. Awesome. And Danielle, thank you for that. Oh, thanks, Rebecca. Rebecca popped the link in. Yeah, that should be what it is. Okay. More clarity and hopeful in moving to the right side. Awesome. Okay. Priscilla says, I'm always optimistic after listening to Judy. Great. Okay. So I'm going to land there for a second. Great. I love Judy. She knows a thing or two and she inspires me. Okay. What are you going to do? I'm going to give you the next step. First thing, download my ultimate scaling guide. I take you through thought exercises. If you resist it, do it anyway, because it's good for you. You know, it's one of those things where, like, would you think that I was as impressive if I was like this? If I said, well, if you like, you might want to try this. Imagine if you went to a doctor and the doctor was like, well, I don't know what's wrong with you. And she was like, I don't know, but you might want, no, you want somebody that has conviction and belief. That's me. I know. So do the exercises in the Ultimate Scaling Guide. If you made at least $75,000 in the last year, apply to chat with me for a scaling strategy session. Why not? It's free. Why not? Oh, but by the way, you got to love Jesus also. And you have to really want to build the business. If you're just playing games and good at 75, God bless you, but that's not what the call is about. Okay. Now, I just modeled something for you. I just modeled the fact that I drew the line in the sand. I think I try in a loving way, but a firm way. I'm unapologetic about who I work with. I know that I have people who are not at 75 that follow me. And that's great. That's fine. And I bet, you know, I just talked to a woman yesterday. She's like, I can't wait to work with you. I'm not quite there yet. It's a great conversation. But in this mastermind container, it's high level thinking. It's like having conversations that you're not going to find anywhere else on podcasts, because the podcasts feed the masses. This is above the masses. This is talking about the top like 2%. Okay.
Judy.
Yes.
Judy, it's Katie. Hi. I just wanted to, let me just keep it simple. When you start talking about being authentic and being yourself and putting it out there and going from there, it makes it so much simpler and so much easier from a clarification point of view. It just puts it, it goes right to the target. So for me, in terms of setting my brand, allowing me to be myself, that is just who that's just in line with who I am. Do you follow me?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's there. If we try to be somebody else, it isn't going to work.
Yeah, I know, but that's what we did when we were younger. We tried to be ourselves. We tried to be somebody else because somebody else was better than you.
I guess
I mean, maybe it's taken me all these, long years to figure out that being yourself is the simplest thing in the world, but it just isn't the way the world is set up. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're so welcome. And think about it. I mean, you see, whatever you do, ladies, there are people that are searching for you. I know that. I need you to know that. Okay. There are women out there like saying, where is someone that's a business coach that loves the Lord? That isn't talking about woo-woo crap and crystals and The Secret and all that other malarkey, right? And it's hard to find. There aren't many out. And even some that call themselves Christian based, I don't want to judge you guys, be discerning, but you really have to be careful. So think about what you are and just think about, what am I all about? Okay. I look at my Instagram and it still like makes me crazy. I don't know why women would want to follow another woman who all she's pretty much doing is looking like a prostitute with like clothing that just, and some of these are business coaches. Maybe there's a target audience for them, but I'm not in that group. So with that point, Katie well said that we got to go all in on who we are. And and being, okay, I didn't say this in the thing. I want to make sure this hits home. If your marketing turns people on while at the same time turning other people off, brava. That's the point. We want them to self-qualify, right? Because you don't have time to talk to everybody. So that's great.
Right.
I'm glad you came to that realization, Katie. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Jenny.
Absolutely. Does anybody, and Shamai, that's awesome. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm absolutely more to the right now. Thank you for emphasizing the real relationship building, people-focused marketing. Danielle, taking action to have already started mapping out my brand more fully as I listen. Awesome. Excellent. And Priscilla had some light bulb moments. Okay. Listen, there's a few more minutes. If anybody has like any marketing questions, or if there is a particular challenge that you have in your business, I have 10 minutes. I'd love to take somebody on a hot seat and I can show you how I coach, kind of how I walk you through things. So who would love to be the guinea pig? I see Catherine and Jennifer and Priscilla and Nina and Lisa and Shirley, Rachel, Rebecca, Michelle, and Linda. I'm gonna make sure I have all your names. Rebecca, could you make sure that I know who was all here? Rebecca's my right hand. She's amazing. Okay. So Angela said me, but Angela, I know that you also, what I love about Angela, she raises her hand, but I know that you were kind of hot seated on my last class. So I kind of want to give somebody else an opportunity. Okay. But here's what I'll do for you, Angela. DM me your question and I will give you a detailed answer. Promise, promise. Okay. All right. So who is going to, that has not had the opportunity to experience a hot seat with me? Come on. You're here. There is no way that you would have sat here. Priscilla, you and I have chatted. So I'm so sorry. DM me and I'll answer something for you. I really want to talk to one of the ladies that I've never talked to before, like Amy and Amanda. And let's see who else. I don't know who Jennifer is. Nina, Michelle, you ladies, Linda. Okay, Amanda. All right. Bravo for your bravery. And I'm excited. Thank you, ladies, for your kind understanding. So Amanda, what's your question, hon? Can you unmute yourself? And Amy, you're next.
I think I'm unmuted.
Okay, there you go. Hi there.
Hello.
How can I help?
So my question is, being Christian, I have never ever been involved in a Christian-based business coaching session. I have done the Brian Buffini.
Mm-hmm.
So I started a new venture late in life. I was in corporate HR. So now I'm in real estate, been doing it about 7 years.
Great.
So I'm really stuck. I don't know how to take it to the next level. I have, done everything. So I don't really have a particular question, but I'm trying to find out, what would you advise me to do now?
Okay.
I do funnels, I do the newsletters, I do social media. I do a bit of everything.
There you go. So what are you going to do? Okay, this is so good. This is so good. I mean, I would love to spend, 5 hours with every single one of you because I love talking business. Okay. But you have just made my point. that the gurus have convinced you. And believe me, as a real estate agent since 2008, we're easy targets. Realtor got her license. I'm going to hit her with this. I'm going to tell her she needs that. But no. Okay. So you've even said it. I've got funnels. I've got newsletters. I've got this, that, and the other, and none of it's working. So you need to pause, take that jump start by pulling back and thinking about this. Do I have my 3 foundational elements of my brand figured out?
And that
So-
answer is no.
Okay. So
Piece of everything and everybody.
there you go. And it's not serving you. And I get it because you're feeling like, where are you from? Where are you from, hon?
Pennsylvania,
Oh, really? Where?
Lehigh Valley.
Say it again.
Lehigh Valley.
Oh, Lehigh Valley. Awesome. Okay. Let's skip, hop, and a jump from where I used to be in King of Prussia. So, there's tons of agents and you're like, oh, I don't want to miss out. Okay. But look, HR, what if, and I'm just throwing this out there, this may or may not appeal to you, but what if you were to decide that you were going to go after women like yourself? You may be corporate women, maybe in their 40s, 50s. I don't know. That's a huge, think about that target audience in the Lehigh Valley, that they're either divorced, single, or, widowed, or maybe you want to appeal to her, even though she's married, but your messaging is pointing to the corporate woman or former corporate woman, okay, in that demographic. And you're going to get to know her really well. And you're going to speak to her in your social post. And please, if any of you realtors, and I'm going to make a strong claim, but I believe in it, so I'm going to say it. If any of you are paying a service to post stuff for you, save your dollars, say bye-bye, end the subscription today if you can. And if not today, when the end of your thing is coming up, nobody's reading it. Nobody wants to hear the same old baloney with the same stock photo. We want to see you. We want to know you. How do you do real estate different? So I've just thrown tons of ideas at you, but it starts with deciding, Amanda, without apology, I really want to serve this demographic. What's your reaction to that?
It'll simplify things. I came from Bucks County, which is a completely different clientele base, I believe. And I was known down there. And so now I've moved. So it's trying to reset my branding, if you will, up here.
Okay. What were you known for in Bucks County?
Well, they had seen my face I would go to places and like, you're a realtor. They knew me. I was involved in a lot of networking events and people down there. So now it's coming to a new area by yourself and trying to start your own business. And it's a little different up here than it was down there.
Okay. How do you become known? First of all, starts with that ideal client, knowing who it is. And then remember the people-focused marketing, you're talking about prospective clients, but then you're also talking about collab opportunities. And so I think for women, especially, there tends to be more group opportunities because you want to meet people. Sounds like you've just moved to a newer area. The best thing you can do is get plugged in. As scary as that might be. And guess what? I'm in a kind of new area and it is scary to get plugged into a brand new place and meet all kinds of new people. But again, to get your business moving, you've got to meet more people. And once you have clearly identified who you really want to work with, then when you meet someone, you can say, oh, do you happen to know any corporate women in their 40s and 50s? And you don't even necessarily have to say, like Tom Ferry does, do you know anybody who's looking to buy or sell in the next 12 months? No, you just say, do you happen to know, I really want to meet more women like us, more 40s and 50s in corporate or that self-entrepreneur. Do you know a place where I could plug in? That would be a wonderful place for you to start.
That's great. I will work on that.
Okay. You are welcome. And I hope that is helpful. All right. Amy, I would love to hear from you. Tell me what you do and where you are.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. So I am Amy Peterson. I own Teamwork Realty, so another real estate agent here in Charleston, South Carolina.
Awesome.
And so our biggest thing, real estate's not the issue. It's about growing a brokerage. So we are a newer brokerage since February and came from actually the same brokerage that Amanda is with, a big national one. And for us, we have the branding, we're very confident in who we are and what we provide our agents. Is trying to get in front of agents to see if we're a good fit in that transition is what I'm struggling with.
Okay. So in this scenario, your ideal client, so to speak, is really agents to grow the brokerage.
Correct.
Right? Okay. So have you mapped out characteristics of who you're really looking for?
Yes, we have worked on that. And so we definitely have our core group of people that we're going after. So we do have that, but it's what I'm finding that most of the pushback we're getting is because we're a newer brokerage. We don't have that franchise behind us that's what we're up against.
Wow, this is so good. So there's a couple of ways I could have gone. I could have asked you more specifically to tell me about that ideal agent, but I want to go here. When you talk to the agents and this is what they're telling you, how do you respond to that when they go, well, you're a new brokerage, I just don't feel great about this? How do you respond to that?
So I don't know that we're very fluid in that response. Now we have been the top producing from where we came from for many years in South Carolina. But our vision for our company is that it's not about our brand and our design, it's about the agent's brand and their design. So that's how we try to compete against the franchise, where you have to be their color, their design, their name, that you're nothing but that franchise. Where here it's about the small business owner creating that. And it has worked in some situations, but it's also, I think, just like anybody on here who's from real estate, it takes like that year for people to trust you, like, you know that you're going to stay in the business. And we haven't hit that marker, I feel, yet.
Okay. Gosh, so much I could say. First of all, I want to introduce you to what I call the sales triad. Think of a triangle. If I can do that. Okay. So there's 3 big things you got to believe in order to sell anything. In your case, selling the brokerage to the agent, right? You got to believe in you. Okay. And because the Lord, absent him, I'm nothing. So, but in him, I'm everything I need to be. Okay. So you got to believe in the way of the brokerage being what we're selling, that the brokerage is the best place for these agents that you've already identified. You got to believe it. Then you also have to believe that these agents that, are well-defined, these targeted agents that you've identified, that they are going to love what you have. Because the third triangle is exactly that, what you have. Like, you believe in you believe in the client, and you believe in your offer. So in that case, it would be believing in the brand, believing in the agent, and believing in what you offer them. So my next question was, like, what are they looking for? Are they saying, oh, I don't like your split? Are they saying you're not providing, all of this training that they never look at anyway? But, or are they looking for the support of a broker who, when I text them, they're going to respond within, like, I don't know, half a day or something. Do you know what I mean? So there's a couple of things going on. First, I feel like you are believing, you've said it, that it takes about a year to establish trust. I don't know why I don't believe that. Why do you think that?
I don't know where that mentality has come from, but I guess from being on the other side of real estate, it took about a year. And I hear this from other agents. It takes about a year that people just kind of forget that other jobs you did before, that you're a real estate agent. That's who you are. That it forgets what we did before. And I don't know why I have that in my mind. I'm even seeing 6 months in, 9 months in now that we are growing at a faster pace. And it's also that time of year that real estate agents change. Brokerages, I'm seeing our growth is happening quicker, but I believe in what we have. We have no opposition against our splits, our brokerage support, our training, providing leads. We're not having any opposition on that.
Mhm.
It's just the conversion that once we get in front of them, that we're not getting the conversion I would like to see.
Okay. All right. I'm going to coach you through this. Okay. So a couple things you said, you know, I hear from other agents that, you know, or other agents tell me, guess what? And you know this because you're in the industry. You wouldn't be a broker if you didn't know this. The average agent is lucky to make 40 grand.
Correct.
So even if the brokers, other brokers are telling me that, I don't care. Look, most people think small. And so when you hear and believe or even care about sometimes what other people say, then it gets in here. And no, you're going to set the boundaries. So here's the thing. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Like, I don't care what the average person tells me. I couldn't care less because, and I don't mean that in a rude way, but I know that like there's no limit to anything. So for me, I know that and I want to go through a role play in a second, that, you know, if I believe in my brokerage and I'm talking to someone who I really want on my team because they're amazing, I am going to ask great questions and I'm going to listen intently to the answer and I'm going to address every objection that I hear. And so if they're like, well, it's not established. Well, you know, you're the go-to. I hand selected you because I know that with me and you and our team together, we're going to do amazing things. You're going to definitely make more money here and you're going to do it more happily here. But, you know, I would really, you know, love to hear kind of the negatives that they're saying. So let's have this sales role play, if you don't mind.
Okay.
When you're saying, you know, I'm talking to the right people, but they're not saying yes. I'm thinking maybe I can try to be you and you be them. Or do you want to be the other way around? What would be most beneficial?
I'll stay on my side. I'll be me.
Okay. Okay, great. So set me up. So we just had a great conversation. And what would you say as we're closing down that conversation of me looking at your brokerage?
Okay. That in total with our brokerage, what we are looking to provide is the branding for you, your design, your business, that by providing leads, and also having the opportunity to where you are doing a 90-10 split, where you're coming from, your split is incredibly a lot different, where you're wanting to put more money into your pocket, that becomes more money in your business. We're also very much mobile friendly in the respect that almost everything we can do from our cell phone, that gives more time for your family. And I'm going to sidetrack for a second, but we are a very Christian supportive business. And we do talk about that quite openly. So we do talk about how what we do is support that gives you your time out of doing calls and things like that you would do in a regular situation as a real estate agent, to put back more time in your family. So that's how we typically wrap up our conversations with someone, is about giving them back their time and putting more into their business.
Okay, but we're sitting there. I'm sitting across from you. So in reality, once you summarize that,
Mm-hmm.
then what? Do you have a question for me?
No, I don't.
You're not going to ask for the business, so to speak, and say, hey, so when are we going to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we don't.
Yeah. Amanda says, close the deal. Absolutely. I'm ready to sign up with you. No, I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? I'm not in production.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about, where it's like you have all these things and you get the small yeses, you get the buy-ins. You know, this is great. You're going to make more money here. That'd be a great thing, right? You know, and I understand that you may feel that you're taking a chance with us because we're not a national brokerage, but let's be honest. People hire realtors because they like the person. It really doesn't matter where you work. And in fact, when you're telling me that your ideal client is a Christian family, blah, 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 the fact that you're with my brokerage, that's going to make you even more appealing, right? And then they'll say, yeah. And we'll say, okay, so when do you want to make your move?
All right. Yeah, we don't end it that way. Okay, I will put that in there.
I mean,
Thank
think
you.
about it. Think about it. It's interesting, isn't it, ladies? So, you know, Amy said, and I'm not meaning to call you out or make you feel any way, but the conversion, and I see this a lot with real estate agents because I was one, I was good at it and I trained a bunch, where it's like you do great listing presentations. And then I say, okay, great. You answered all their questions. They're excited. They said they thank you for your time. And what happens at the end? They're like, Well, I leave them my presentation and then I say, call me when you're ready. What? You say, all right, here's the paperwork. Let's get started. You got to ask for the business, ladies. Okay. And Shirley, I'll get to you in just 1 second. So Amy, that little tweak could mean the difference between, struggling to get other agents on board and getting 3 in the next week.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Judy.
Right. And so I would reach out to everybody that you've spoken with that expressed interest and invite them to a new conversation. That's great. Keep in touch. Okay. And Amanda as well. All right, Shirley, thank you for your patience.
Hi, good afternoon, Judy and everybody else on the line. I am a Christian. I've been in the real estate industry for the last 26 years. I've opened up my brokerage around 7 years ago. Prior to opening my brokerage, everything was basically by referral. So now, since opening my brokerage, it's not so much by referral, but now since post-COVID, I feel that I need to rebrand. The brand is Brock's Sheltering Those in Transition. My competition is Douglas Elliman and all the big companies. I have a couple other agents. I know I do need to hire more, but I need to outsource the marketing. I know that's what I need to do. I'm not familiar with the landing pages and all that other tech stuff. So I do need to outsource that to bring more exposure to the brand. I once was just at the 6-figure. I'm trying to get back there since COVID. So I'm looking to connect with you and do more business with you so I could get to the next level. I've been following you
I know.
since April. My son passed in April, and I heard your voice as I was preparing his obituary. And I was like, this is a Christian lady looking to network with other Christians. So I've been following you since then, and I'm connected. I'm there. I just have a lot of things trying to pull together everything, and I know I can't do it on my own. So I need to move forward, launch forward. It's like now the business is on a respirator.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get off the respirator and, go back into full time. That's where I'm at in.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm so sorry, Shirley, for your loss.
Thank you.
I can't even imagine. So you know how I cry. So let's try not to think about.
Don't do that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you said a few things that I want to kind of call you out on to read.
Okay.
Okay. First thing you said is, I need to rebrand. Why?
Yes.
Why? Why do you think that?
The brand has always been there, but I after listening to one of your messages, I felt that I needed to bring more clarity to it.
Oh,
So
okay.
I worked on that. I did that, but now I need to bring more exposure to the brand, whether by marketing. I've been networking as much as possible. I have a lot of memberships. Some of those memberships I'm letting go 2021 because I haven't derived any business from there.
Yep.
So
That's good.
I'm scaling and rescaling.
Okay. So that's good. See, I'm kind of a crazy on words. Words
Okay.
matter, details matter. So
Yes.
when you said I need to rebrand, actually what you're saying, you're not rebranding. The rebrand to me feels like starting all over. You're just tweaking the brand and bringing clarity to the brand. You're just building and strengthening the brand. Which,
Yes.
now let me ask you, and this is, and Danielle's going to know when she works with me. I'm a lot about how we think. Okay.
Mhm.
So when I say I need to rebrand, as opposed to I get to clarify my brand and strengthen.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that's where I want you to think. So I don't want you to approach the rebrand as this labor. Like, oh gosh, it's oh my gosh, it can be whatever I say it is. Right?
Right.
Ladies, all of our businesses, we are creating something amazing, something valuable from nothing. Like it doesn't exist. So we get to create it. So I just want you to, take even what we just talked about today, Shirley, and
Mhm.
also get the, ultimate scaling guide if you haven't gotten that yet, and take the time block to think through each of those 3 primary elements of your brand.
Mhm.
And here's an idea. Go to the Joyful Scaling Facebook group and post your work, and I will respond. Now, without being a client, I can't go super, super deep like I would with a client, but you'll definitely get value from that because I want to work with you. I want your business to be at that 6-figure mark so we can work together to take it to multi-6. Okay. So I want to say that, number 1. Number 2, you said I need, and you use these words. Okay. You
Mhm.
said I need to outsource.
Yes.
Okay. And I love that you decided that, but I always want to make sure we're careful and very strategic in our decision making. Okay. So one of the things you said is, I want to get more exposure and I don't know anything about landing pages. And there was something else, but I didn't catch that. But here's the deal, ladies. Before we outsource anything of our business, even to marketing, we need to have some baseline understanding as to what that is. Like we need to have a goal, and we had to clearly communicate that with the person that we hire. In other words, we can't just hire someone to take over our social media marketing and not have parameters. For example, the goal may be, I want to grow to, by X number of followers in the next 3 months or something, or I want to increase engagement, or I want you to focus on finding me these leads based upon, this is the person I'm looking for. We need to make sure that we know enough about what we're hiring someone to do that we can monitor it and say, are they doing a good job? And we have to give them a tangible, measurable goal so we can see if what we're paying them is worth it. Because every time we invest, we need to think about that return on investment. I don't want you to throw good money after bad for someone that's going to spend, I don't know what they charge, anywhere from $500 to $5,000, to create a landing page. You don't need to do that necessarily. So it's just like being very strategic. In order, what do I need in the short term? I need more dollars in my bank account. Judy says, I don't need to worry about a website. Judy says, I need to talk to people, the right people. Okay, so I'm going to dedicate time this weekend to spend time to focus on this. I'm going to post it in the Facebook group and I'm going to take the right action. And my goal is I'm going to talk to X number of people next week, whether it be by phone or in person. I'm going to connect. Okay.
Yes.
Does that feel good, or what does that feel?
I was thinking that, and I know what I'm saying in a sense in terms of outsourcing is that I just don't want leads. I need quality leads. I need leads that's going to put money in my pocket. So, because I was saying I need someone who is has the skill set to be able to bring the quality that I need. I mean, because you could go and buy leads for $1 a piece or whatever, or 50 cents a piece. However, if it's not going to benefit the business, or it's not going to allow me to have listing appointments, what's the sense? You know?
Exactly. And that is why, just what you said. So everything we talked about, let's say that you hire someone to do, let me just think about this. Let's say you hire some marketing company to find you leads. Let's just say that. Or let's use this example that you decide to hire somebody to do Facebook ads for you. And you're like, this is where I work. This is my brand. Go for it. It's probably not going to work. If you
It's
don't
not
have
right.
3 elements done, I'm telling you, ladies, you need to talk to people first and foremost. And as you're doing that simultaneously, you need to carefully and strategically get that brand down. Know who you are and who you want to work with, and be unapologetic about it. I'll be honest. When I first pivoted from working with my sister to working by myself, I always knew I wanted Jesus to be like, front facing, but yet there was this part of me that just held back, and I don't even know why. But I'm telling you, in 2022, it's going to be even stronger. I want to be known as, and I will be known as, you see, I've decided, and so I will be known as the go-to Christian, business strategist for women, bar none. And I don't care who's out there now. I know a couple of them, mostly not women, but men, but I don't care who else is there. I know where I'm going. See, and I'm trying to model for all of you. And I'm not saying that out of arrogance. I'm saying it out of, I am a CEO. I want to work more strategically, more simply, more money, less time. And this is the way to get there. So I don't want you to ever put, ladies, the cart, and Shirley, definitely do not put the cart before the horse and hire people to gain your visibility without spending some time getting clarity around that brand. Just what you said. I need to
Right.
strengthen that brand. So brava, sister. And I can't wait to see that posted in the group.
Okay.
Okay, so Heideley, thank you for joining us from South Africa. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna get caught up on the chat, and I probably have to. Oh gosh, I'm past time. I do have to run. Yes, Danielle, I'm gonna talk to 5 new people next week. Awesome, awesome. And yes, Priscilla says, don't worry about that tech. You're gonna go down the rabbit hole. Okay, and Shemai, oh golly, I don't remember how to say it. Quality leads come from building relationships. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Talking to new people, scary. Why is that? Oh my goodness, this is so good. Priscilla, come on. You're going to be my last person. Are you still here? Yes. Why is that scary? I don't know. Why is that scary? You're a bold lady. You tell me.
I don't know why it's scary. I can't explain it. It just seems scary doing it for myself. Changing from employee mode to CEO mode, and just being in a business that's outside of my comfort zone. You know what I mean? I just feel, I don't know why. I just feel nervous.
Okay. And what do you think is going to happen?
They may not, now that you put it that way, they could either say, I'm not interested, or or say, tell me more.
Yeah. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is what?
They
worst
say, I'm
thing-
not interested.
Yeah. Maybe hang up on the phone. That's kind of rude. Or are you going to be seeing these people face to face, or how are you going to be communicating with them?
Probably Zoom. If I have an opportunity, I'll do it in face to face. But
Okay.
people are like sort of nervous a little still,
Mhm.
but I do Zoom.
Okay. And then another thing that I thought of was like, what is the call to action? Like, why are they reaching out to you? Like, what is the invite?
Lately, it's because they don't know how to
No,
travel.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. What is your invite? Are you saying, hey, thinking about traveling in 2022? Let's
Oh.
chat.
Lately, I had been focusing on a specific product, but I had to push that out. But for the other calls to actions are, I'm just sort of generating interest in different destinations, and then letting them know that you can travel safely, and here's how you do it. So that's where I'm going next. So
Okay.
I need to.
Okay. Because the only reason I say that is some people, if they know it's a salesy thing and they're not ready to travel, they might not jump on the phone. But if it's more like, because I talked with you, I know kind of who you're looking for, and you say, have you, you might put it out on social. Have you ever thought about traveling to X or doing Y? And you say, I'd love to chat with you, even just for, true market survey type, reasons, not to sell.
Okay.
And know that if that's the case, Priscilla, that you put that out there, then don't sell on that call. Unless they're like, oh my gosh, I love what you're telling me. book me, but when you have that conversation and you say, okay, would you love to go to Paris? Do you have your eye on Greece? Like find out like, hey, where of all the world, where would you want to go? And tell me why. And, what's your budget? And, what would make that trip amazing? Ask these questions, pick their brain, record it if they'll let you. Why? Because you want to use their words.
Right.
Because
Oh.
when you start talking to more and more people like that, you're going to find patterns. Oh, lots of people want to go to Paris. Yikes, maybe I better go there. Or maybe that's going to be a focus. Or if everybody says, I really want to do, cruises or something. Okay, great. That seems to be hot, So it's really information gathering and serving them in that way. And then it's not scary so much because then there's no pressure for you. There's no pressure for them.
Okay. I hadn't thought of it that way. Sales is just, I don't know why. It just seems like it's a big, giant booger.
I love you. All right. I'm going to leave you ladies with this. I wish I had time to talk to each and every one of you, but unfortunately I've got to go. But I want to talk about sales for 3 minutes. What do you think about sales? How do you feel about it? And if you ladies are going to say, I hate it, it's hard, it's overwhelming, like the left side of my screen earlier about marketing. Okay. You know what the flip side is? You know what I think about sales? It's fun.
I love sales.
Yeah, there you go, Shirley. Thank you. Then, I love it. I love talking to people. I love getting to know people and finding out every consultation, ladies, every presentation is potential for you to learn. And in particular, learn about the person you're sitting across from or talking to. And if that person is your ideal client, because now you need to know who that is. And if they're not, don't talk to them, please. But if this is someone who's your ideal client and you're talking to them, wow, you better get that pen to paper. You better be writing down their words because it matters. Why, Jude? Because if she's saying it and she's in your ideal client, I bet you another woman in that ideal client, target audience, she's thinking the same thing. So that if then you use that phrase and you put it in a Facebook ad or you put it in a social post or you talk about it on a live, they're going to be like, whoa, how does she do that? She's inside my head. And when you approach sales like that, I love Priscilla smiling. I know I'm very dramatic and all that, but that's entertaining, right? But the point is that sales can be as fun or as poopy as you decide that it is. Let me tell you, when I first got into sales in my 20s, I absolutely hated it. I just felt so pressured and I felt so yucky. And now it's like, that's not even what sales is. Like, I don't ever want to convince anybody to work with me. And indeed, I don't. Even if it's somebody I really want to work with. What I do is I talk about what I can do for them. I make sure I know kind of where they're at. And, it's just a conversation. And then you have to make sure at the end of the conversation that you're asking for the business if that's where it's going, right? So there are times to push and pull back, but it's never push, manipulate, arm twisting. And so when you approach sales in that way, then it's not scary and it's fun. So, all right, ladies, thank you so much for sharing time with me. If I did not talk with you, trust me, I will be coming into these, the chat box, and I assume all of you that I have your emails, and hopefully I'll know your name associated with that email that I have in my system. And if you've asked a question, I will get back to you. All right. So thank you so much for joining me, ladies. I hope this was valuable. If it was, would you do me a favor? Would you please go to either my business page on Facebook or on LinkedIn? Thank you, Shemai. Or in my Joyful Scaling Facebook group and make a quick note. Jude, thanks so much for this masterclass. My aha was this. If you do that for me, I so appreciate that because it shows others like, wow, that's testimonials for me. So again, I'm modeling for you what you should do. If you've gotten value from this, would you please take the time to do that? And if you do, I guarantee you, I will return the favor and then some. All right. Love you ladies so much. Mwah. God bless you. Enjoy the weekend. Look forward to chatting with you soon.